And thus, here we are to explain the Boy Scouts of America and my experience with Northern Tier. So, Northern Tier. Northern Tier is one of 4 national high adventure bases that the Boy Scouts of America owns and operates. Our program had 3 locations, and I was at the Ontario base in Atikokan, which is near Thunder Bay in Ontario. I had the position of office clerk, like an office manager, so I dealt with reception and confirming details. It was almost like a travel agent kind of role, but besides the office file management and reception and organizational aspects of the role that I gained, I loved the logistics and communication role. 4, we had to ensure the safety and correct, logistics of making sure all the crews came in on time and then also departed on time, were picked up from their trips at the corresponding lakes properly. But when we didn't hear from crews, because it's such a remote area, sometimes the sat phones didn't work, or say that there were medical emergencies and we had to perform evacuations. We had to be in such tight communication with all the other staff. It was an excellent experience of handling stress and communicating very clearly in a very critical situation to make sure everyone's safety is addressed. Thus, I gained so much from that experience in that regard, besides the office management aspect of it. However, I cannot not mention the culture and just the overall experience. This role has taught me that I'm comfortable in a wilderness setting, that with a very small team of dedicated individuals, we can take kind of nothing. It's a bare base, it's winterized, nothing happens over the winter, and we turn it into something beautiful. There were hundreds and hundreds of young men and women that passed through our program, and we brought it to life and made sure that their experience was as excellent as possible. And I'm fortunate to have been part of such a passionate team, and I look for that when I go forward. And hey, our clients were Boy Scouts. They were ages 13 to 18, but also their adult advisors. We had to address multiple kind of personalities from many different states. It was a very rich, multifaceted experience, and I'm so thankful to have been part of something where I can promote like youth development and transition and learning. For they left kind of green. Maybe some didn't even know how to paddle, and they left a little bit matured and challenged from portaging to cooking in the wilderness. And I wasn't there with them on trail, but in this position, I was happy to have been of service to make sure their base experience was as pleasant as possible. And thus, in a nutshell, that was my experience with Northern Tier and the Boy Scouts of America.